so I think I should have it now. Okay, yeah. It should be going live now. Okay, yeah, started. Thank you. So how can I talk this? So the screen I'm even seeing this online screen. Disable annotation, hide names, hide video panel. Okay, so okay, yeah. All right. So from the last class, from what we had in the last class, we were actually working on, I think we were working on file editing, working on file editing. So today, yeah, I think the last one we talked about was removing a file. So today let's talk about copying and moving of files, just the same way you do on your Windows. So it's as simple as using to move a file. Remember I told you I'm always using sudo. I like using my sudo access, so I don't have restrictions. So I'm inside Ubuntu. So to move your file, it's as simple to copy a file. It's as simple as using copy command. Copy command, then the name of the file. So let's view what we have here. Okay, I think I just created this. Let me move to my temp directory that I normally use for my rough work. Let me go to my TMP. It's slow this evening. TMP, okay, ls, cd devops. So I remember that was what we used the last time. So we have a couple of files already existing inside there. So now, for you to copy a file, it's as simple as using cp. So let's assume I want to copy this file called file1, and what you just do is you want to copy file1, then the location to where you want to paste the file. So for instance, now let me say I want to copy, I can just copy and put it inside home Ubuntu, which is my default home directory, I think. So home Ubuntu. So now let me start a new session. Can you just give me duplicate session? Yeah, let me duplicate the session and see side by side. So let's run our ls and see. So now you can see the file is already created, and I think another thing you can also do is I can now specify what is the name. Like maybe I want to rename the file upon the new location. I can just remember the first time I did it, I didn't really put the name. It just carried the default name and paste it in the home Ubuntu directory. So now I can tell it rename it to file2, and then it will be renamed. So when I check here now, I should see file2. It automatically renamed it. So it's as simple as that. And then I can copy from the same directory and paste inside the same directory. So just file1 and paste it in file2, which is the same directory. So file1. So if I do ls inside the same file, so we have file1, file2. Okay. I believe that's clear, right? Please, can I get a response? I hope I'm not too fast.
Sorry, I didn't get to.
Yeah?
You have.
Oh, I was too fast. Oh, Thank God I asked for response.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So now, what we want to do today is we want to use copy command. We want to copy file from one location to the other. Okay. So for you to copy file, it's as simple as using CP, then the name of the file you want to copy. Okay. And then the name that you want to give the file in the location. So if you do not specify a name, it's going to carry the original name and use it. So let's take for instance now, you remember your ls command. Your ls is to see what is in present directory, like what you have in your present working directory. Remember your present working directory. I'm inside temp devops. Okay, so if you remember, I'm inside temp devops. That's my present working directory. And what do we have inside the tmp devops directory? We have four, two folders and two files. If you're in last class, you should know how to differentiate. These are folders in blue, and these are files in white. And there are other ways you can use in differentiating. So now, what we want to do is we want to copy this file. Let's say this file one. We want to copy it and paste it inside. Look at the second terminal. Mind you, these are two terminals. This is terminal one, this is terminal two. So the second terminal, what's our present working directory? Let's check our present working directory. If you have been following, you should know what present working directory is. That's to know your location, just like you have on your Windows. If you're on your Windows, the same thing you have here, that's your present working directory, what you have inside this bar. So it's just a way for trying to find yourself. Where are you at the moment? So for this now, this is my present working directory. User, Dell, desktop, QA, K and A. So the same present working directory now. That's what we are trying to do in our terminal. So what's our present working directory? It's going to tell you here. And this is the first terminal. Let's check our present working directory. We are inside temp DevOps. Okay. So I think that should be clear. Yeah, thank you. So let me clear my screen. So now what do we have inside the present working directory? We have two files and two folders. And this present working directory of the second terminal, which is inside Ubuntu folder, Ubuntu directory, what do we have inside? We have file 1, file 2, and viv. I created this. Okay, so now we want to copy this file called file 1. Okay, and paste it inside home Ubuntu and call it, let's say we call it file 1. Okay, there's already existing file 1. Okay, so now, okay, hold on, let me remove file 1 from this directory. Let me remove file 1.
I'm sorry, but I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, please. What's the concept of this terminal? I've been following, but maybe you can just recall the concept of this terminal. Is it that you log in with another user ID?
What is the concept of what?
These two terminals.
I actually don't get the question. The two terminals is just so that
I'm having two terminals in front of me here.
Yes, just for me to just navigate. I don't want to be navigating around. So now, if I'm copying a file from one directory to another, I'm supposed to navigate to that directory to confirm. So instead of me just trying to navigate from this single terminal, I would just, I have the other terminal so I can easily confirm. So normally if I want to confirm, if we have this...
So I can also open another terminal, right? With it.
Yes, inside the same instance, of course.
Inside the same instance.
Yes. So you just run your duplicate. You click on this icon. You see this icon. You see this icon? Just click on it and you see your duplicate. You can duplicate session. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now, look at it now. Okay, let me remove this viv as well. Viv, just clear it. I need it. So now, this directory here, Ubuntu is empty now. So what I want to do right now is I want to copy this file and put it inside Ubuntu. So it's as simple as you just running cp file1, which is the name of the file. So it's cp, the file name, then the location of the file. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we are copying file1. Then we want to post it inside. We want to paste it inside home Ubuntu. So you just remember your relative and absolute part. So right now we are going to be doing absolute part. That is from home. So home Ubuntu. So just hit my enter, and then let me go to my second terminal and confirm if it's already existing. ls. So you can see it, right?
Yes, yes.
So now I can also make it in such a way like I'm giving it the file name. What do I want it to bear in the destination? So the destination, that is where I'm trying to paste my copied file. I want to change the name. So what? Let me say I want to call it test. So I can just put it instead of specifying the location. Then I can also add the file name after the destination. So I can call it test. The same file. Okay, that's just a way for renaming. So now that's it. Enter. Then let me go to my second terminal. You see test. You can see the test, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, it's as simple as that. Now, another concept that you might want to try is rename. You know, in your Windows terminal, you can easily just click on a file and just rename it, right? How do you do that? How do you do that on how do you do that on your Linux? It's as simple as you just yes. Oh, okay. Sorry. It's another command for renaming anyway. It's another command for renaming. So
Okay.
yeah. I said then the third one I mentioned is you can copy from the same source and use the destination as the source. So in such just like you are duplicating, okay. So now if you want to do that, just use your copy file1. Okay, before we do that, let's see what we have inside the file, inside this location. So we have this four here, okay. So now let's try to copy file1 and paste it inside the same and use the same source as destination. So let's call it test1. So what is going to happen is it's going to create this same file inside here. So now we should have 3 files, you see. So it's like you're duplicating with a rename. So it's as simple as that. But now let me try something. Let me show you something. Let me clear my screen first. So we have ls. Let me try to run that copy command on this folder. Remember I told you this is a folder. Okay, so run your cp command class1, and let's say we want to post it inside this home Ubuntu directory. Okay, so let's see how it's done. Ubuntu. Oh, you can see the error. It said cp-r not specified, omitting directory. Yeah, I also noticed a couple of people asking questions. One way for really learning well in Linux is you must learn to read output from your terminal. It's not magic. It will give you hints. It's normal. So just learn. When you see error message, just try to read and understand. And if you don't understand, you can just use your Google. If I just type this inside Google now, it should be able to help me. I can just copy this error message and see what we have. Remove a specific extension. Now, based on my experience, I actually know one of the reasons it's giving me all these stories because it doesn't know what this class 1 is, because I was the one that specified it. So let me just run this and see. CP directory with permission but not recursive. So you just browse. By the time you browse, you should be able to figure out what is happening. So CP, how can I copy a file to every user home directory? So you have different options, just explore. It's part of the learning. Read error message. If you don't understand, just use your Google. Okay, so but now I know what this is. CP-R not specified omitting directory class. So this is because there's a different command for copying folder, not command. There's a different way for you copying a folder. You have to do it recursively because it's a folder. So that's why you must add the option R for you to be able to copy a folder. Okay, so now if you remember, I told you about option. Option is just a way for changing the behavior of a command. So -R means recursively. So it's a folder. You know, inside the folder you might type different files, a lot of other different files, different folders and all. So directories, subdirectories, files, you know, children's and all. So CP-R class 1. So this is how I just change the behavior to specify it's a folder. Okay. So let me hit my enter. Now I've copied and pasted class 1. Let's see if we have it here. You can see it. So we have the class 1 here. And then I can also rename it as well. I can also rename and call it class test. Let's see. So now we have this. Let me run ls and see. So you can see we have the class test. Okay. Are we doing well?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So the next one we want to talk about now is the mv. Mv is move command. That's for moving. So I can move folders, I can move files, and see. So now let's try to move this class 1 and see what we have. Okay, before that, let me remove. Please don't try this. I'm about to try. I'm always careful. RM star. So now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to remove everything we have inside this directory. So now I didn't really put recursively. Let me double check, you know. This will just only remove file anyway. So you see it's telling me it cannot remove the directory. So I think I have to add rf to it. So it's a very delicate command, like very delicate. rm -rf, you know. So all right, delete everything. So now I'm deleting everything inside my present working directory. That's what it means. A deadly thing to do is rm -, I don't know if I should show it, rf. Please don't try this at home. -. Remember, this your backward slash actually means root. You remember? So just press something star. Shit, don't try this at home. In fact, I'm scared typing it anyway. You don't want to do that. So now I have a clear working directory. Everything is cleared now. So now let's do move. So with move, I can just move this. Let me move this file here. Move test1. Let me move test1 as a test. Move test1 to home Ubuntu. And then let's check. So we have test1 here. Then test1 should be deleted from here. Like moved already. Sorry, not deleted. Moved. So you can see. So that's how to move a file. So now, if you want to rename as well, so you just, that's what I was saying about the concept of renaming a file. So if you want to rename a file, just do mv file. Let's rename file2 and call it test2. So that's the concept for renaming. So you see, file2 has been renamed to test2. So I also think for moving a file, for moving a directory to, it should be the same. So let's move class and see home Ubuntu. All right, so now we have class here. So that's it for copying and moving file. Before we continue, are we good?
Yeah, we are good.
All right, thank you. How do we rename without copying? How do we rename without copying? I believe I just answered this now. I believe I already answered.
Yes, just.
All right, thank you.
Yes, envy file to test too.
All right, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to talk about file. How to edit file, how to navigate around file using your VI command, just like you have in your word processor. So now let's go. So now what we are going to be using, Vim. For Linux, we are going to be using Vim. We have a lot of other text editors anyway, but the default one that comes with Linux is Vim. I think I've used Nano in the past. For those that love to try, can also try Nano. Oh, okay, there's Nano here by default too. Cool. But I think Nano is pretty straightforward anyway. When I was starting, I was having difficulties with Vim. Then I started using Nano until someone just told me more about Vim, and I think I'm more comfortable using Vim than Nano. So you can use Nano. Nano is friendly. You can easily see a lot of other things you could try. They give you a lot of hints. Yeah. But for this class, let's use Vim for the class. So now we have Vim.
Sorry, but what's that Nano? What's that Nano?
Nano is a text editor.
I'm calling you, but what's that Nano?
It's a text editor.
Text editor.
Yes. For opening file, just like the same thing you do for your Vim. Like the same, like your text editor, like you have your notepad. You can edit, open notepad and edit. So that's your Nano. So you can either use Nano or Vim. Vim spelled as VIM. Okay. So now let's open a file. I remember from the last class I spoke about how to create a file, and how to create a file using touch. You can create a file using touch command, which was how we created these files we have here. You can use touch and you can use Vim. So now this particular file, which is file 1, let's use Vim to open it and see what we have. So it's actually empty. Then I can also create a new file. I can create a new file using Vim. It doesn't have to be existing. Now, inside this directory that I am, let me say new file. So once I just open it, it's going to automatically open it. And once I save, it's going to save the file for me. Okay? So now, look at it now. Let me try to exit. You see, it automatically opens the file for me. Okay? So now, once you open a file using Vim, this is how Vim works. Vim actually operates in 2 modes. The first mode is called the command mode, and the second mode is called the insert mode. Okay? So in the command mode, you can't really type. You can only issue commands. Now, let me copy a text so that we can have a good sample. Let me copy a text and see so I can better explain. So we have some text here. I'm copying it and I'm pasting it here. Okay, so now let me paste this text here, and then you remember what I told you to save anyway. So to save, you just do your WQ. Okay. If you remember, another way for for checking a file without opening it is using your cat. If you remember from the last class, new file. So it's going to show you the content of a file without opening it. I mean, without opening the file. So it's like it's opening and closing it at the same time. So that's how you check for content of a file. So you can see the content of the file displayed on the terminal. Okay? I hope I'm not confusing anyone. Do I sound confusing?
No, I think I understand.
All right, thank you.
Can you just take it again, please? I just got lost somewhere in between. From the nano, what's the nano for and the beam? Just recap, a very short recap, please.
All right. Nano and Vim, they are both text editor, just like you have your Notepad, Microsoft Word, and all. They are just text editor inside Linux. Okay, so that you can edit. You ask yourself question, how can you edit a file inside Linux? Right? That's a genuine question. Okay, I have a file, how do I edit it? How do I change its content? That's what you use your Nano and Vim for. Okay, so then I'm trying to introduce another command that you can use for checking a file without editing it or without opening it, which is cat. Cat is, I just want to view the content of a file. I don't want to open it. So that is what cat command is for. So these are the content, you see. The moment I just hit enter, it returns me back to the terminal. But if I use Vim, it's going to open the file for me to do other things. So you see, it's opened the file. So for me to return back to terminal, I have to exit this place. Okay? So now I'm telling us that when you use Vim, Vim actually operates in two modes. Let me open a new file. New file 1 or new file 2. Vim actually operates in two modes. The first mode is command mode, and the second mode is insert mode. In the command mode, you can issue commands. In the command mode, you can issue commands. Sorry, let me just. So let me open your file 1. So now this is the first command. The moment I open Vim, the new file, this is what is opened. By default, the first thing you get is the command mode. Please, the meeting is going to end now. Please just rejoin once it ends, please. We just wait for it to end, so we'll join. Stop sharing.
Recording in progress. What's happening? Test audio settings.
Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
So, let me share my screen. So, I believe it should be completed now. So now I told you once you're using Vim, we have two modes in Vim. We have the command mode and then we have the insert mode. So the command mode is just a way for you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask, how can I exit from Nano? I'm finding it hard to exit here. Even I can see the instruction down here, but it's not working.
All right. I will show you after.
I'm currently on Nano. All right, thank you.
Okay. Let me just show you. So if you do Nano, if you're on Windows, that's Control X. Do Control X. Let me do Control X. And it's going to ask save modified buffer. Type Y. Y means yes. So then the file name, just leave it as it is, or what you want to name the file and hit your enter. This is where you just save it, like hit your enter after. So Control X, yes, then enter. Control X, Z, file. So that's it. You grab now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is another problem with Vim anyway. So now I'll talk about that too. So now I open my Vim. This is what we have inside Vim. Now we work in two modes: the command mode and the insert mode. So when you're talking about the command mode is just a way for you issuing commands. You can issue command like, insert mode is because you want to edit a file. Okay, that's insert mode. So if I enter my insert mode now, okay, this is read only. Please, I don't like read only. Let me exit and reopen. Yeah, that's why I don't like read only. Sorry. Q. 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 Why is it giving me read only? Okay, this is what really happened. It's opening a temp file for me, which is this. Open read only. So this issue happens when it didn't really save a file properly before closing it. So it's going to create a temporary file. Okay, so that's what this is all about. In such scenario, I think it's always advisable you delete the file. So let me delete the file first. Let me delete the file because it assumed I didn't close the file properly initial. It's just like your Microsoft Word. When it crashes, you see the temp you see some temp file open on the left pane of the window. So the same thing we have here. So how do you see the temp file? Just do ls-lat, because if I do ls, you'll not be able to see the file. You create it as an hidden file. So for you to see the file, you see ls, you use your ls-lat to see the hidden file. So I remember I told you about hidden file. Hidden file, to create a hidden file, it starts with dot. So this is the file, and then it gives it an extension of swp, which is swap file. So now let me try to remove that first. Then we open the file. Then I can reopen the file. I shouldn't get that signal anymore. So now this is it. So this is the command mode. So let me enter the insert mode. You remember the last time I told you about insert mode? Just tap your I to enter your insert mode. And once you tap I, you're going to see this insert at the bottom of your terminal. That means you are ready to type anything. Okay, so now that is insert mode. For you to exit the insert mode and save, tap your escape once, because what this is all about is just for you to just edit. You can edit, delete, navigate around. That's all what this is doing. So now for you to exit this, just tap your escape, and you can see the insert has disappeared, right? So now this is now the command mode. So let me show you some of the things you can do on the command mode. So on the command mode now, look at it. Take note, there's no numbers there. Let me give it numbers. There are a lot of things that you can do. So I just know some of the things I need offhand. Let's assume I want to give it number. You just use this sc space nu, which is set number. So you see, it automatically starts adding numbers. So I think other things you can also do is you can also search the file. Let's assume it's a very long file. You can also search the file. Let's say I want to search for a file called DevOps forward. There are ways to search forward and you search backward. Okay, so let's search forward now. For you to search forward, you use /. That's in command mode. Remember, there are two modes: insert mode and command mode. If you are in insert mode, tap your escape to enter command mode. Okay, so now I'm in command mode now. So in command mode now, let me try. I want to search for something inside the file. Just use your /. It's going to appear at the bottom of the page. Okay, so take note. So you say /. Then what do I want to look for? Let me say I'm looking for server. I'm looking for the word server. So you see automatically highlighted it. Okay, so then what other thing can I search for here? Okay, let me try to search for okay, let me enter the insert mode and duplicate some lines there. I'm going to duplicate some words. DevOps, let me just, all right, so now I've duplicated it. So let me search for the word DevOps. So you see DevOps now. So you can just go to the next by hitting the enter. So you see, so it keeps highlighting all where the DevOps appear. And then you can also search backward. If you want to search backward, you just use your question mark to search backward. So one is forward and the other one is backward. So now that's for the two commands you have inside Vim. Then another one you can also talk about is, let's assume you really just want to learn some other things about Vim. Okay, before we do that, now we are done editing our files. We are done, playing around the Vim or do whatever we want to do. Remember from the last class, I told you for you to save, there are two ways to save, to quit. So the first one is quit. If I type my Q now, Q actually means quit without saving. It's going to reject it and tell me it can't quit because I've made some changes. So try it now. It said no writing / change. So for me to force the quit, I have to add Q exclamation. If I enter now, it's going to quit without saving the content. Okay, but that's not what I want. So now what I want is, I want to quit and save. For you to quit and save, you use your WQ. That's for quitting and saving. Okay, so now let's run cat on the file and see the content. So you see, saved. Now, if you don't want to do that again, there's another shortcut for doing that anyway. So let me make a change and see. Okay, enter. Hello. Okay, I just made a quick change. Then I exit my insert mode. Another shortcut for quitting Another shortcut for quitting is Shift ZZ. If you just tap your Shift, then Z twice, you can just easily close it. It's just a shortcut for quitting. Okay? So press your Shift, then tap your Z twice. That's a shortcut for quitting. Because you might see me doing that a lot of times, and you'll be like, "What happened? What did I do?" So that's the shortcut I use. Okay, please, are we on the same page?
Yes, good.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't know my video was off. Okay.
What's the shortcut again? Can you say the shortcut again?
Shift Z Z.
Shift Z Z.
Yes, Z twice. Okay, so if you want to learn more about Vim anyway, there's this documentation that you can use on Linux, Vim tutor. So just type it, and it's going to open the document. So you can just learn more on Vim tutor. Okay, so this is it. Just type this and enter. You can learn more on Vim. All right, so week one. So the next one is we are inside this directory. Okay, there are some things you can actually do. How can I put that? There are some things you should definitely take note of anyway. Taking a look at grep. Let's say we want to grep. Remember I told you about grep now. The last time I told you about grep. So when you use grep, let's assume I'm trying to find a way around it. Okay, let's use grep. We want to grep. Grep actually means you want to grep, like you're looking for something. So you just provide the variable, the name of what you're looking for. Okay, that's what you use your grep for. So let's assume now we have a file called new file. Inside the new file, we have the word DevOps. Okay, so now we want to grep the word DevOps out of that file. Okay, so now just do the new file. Now what it's going to do is it's going to show you all the lines where DevOps appear inside that file. That's what you use grepping, like the output you're getting on the terminal. You want to get a particular word. You are looking for a particular word. Let's assume now you remember ls, you remember your ls command. So if you do ls etc, it's going to show all the file inside etc, right? But now you don't want it to show all the file inside etc. You want it to show only the file that has the word password. Okay, so in such scenario, those are where you can use grep. That's for piping two commands. If you remember from our last class, we actually talked about this in the last class, how to grep the output of a file. Normally, if you type lsctc, it's going to show an output. Okay, so now the output, now you want to grep a particular word called password. Just do pass. Okay, so all it's going to show is only the file. Instead of it showing all these files, it only shows 2 files that has the word password in it. It's just a way it's just a way of you using filter. Okay, all right. If that's a little bit dicey, you can just leave that. It's not really necessary for now anyway. I'm just trying to tell you about that. So now the next thing we want to talk about is find. Let's do the word. Let's do find. Find, you're trying to, just like you're looking for a file on your Windows. You can just search for it here, right? So how do you do that on your Linux? So that's what this command is going to help you with. Find. So Linux no hard. It's English. It's just for you just understanding it. Nothing really serious. So you can just use your find. Just like somebody was asking me on the group today, how do I reboot? To reboot is as simple as reboot. So that's how easy it is. So let's do find. This is find. Now we are inside this particular directory. Okay, so now let's say we want to find a particular file called file1, right? Or a particular file called what can I, okay, let's use file1 because I don't want it to really take too long. Let's look for file1. Okay, so now we are looking for a particular file called file1 inside the root directory. Remember, this root actually means absolute part, that is from the bottom. We are searching everything inside the system. Okay, and I can also limit it and say, okay, please just search for a file called file1 inside temp. Or let me create another file called file1 inside this home directory so that I can have a proper understanding of the. So that we can have file1 in 2 locations. We have sudo su pwd. Let's create a file called file1 inside this directory, file1. Okay, so we have a file called file1 too. So now let's search for a file called file1 inside the root directory here. Okay, then the name of the file. For you to specify, if you want to search by a file name, you use the option name. That's to tell it like I want to search based on name, because you have a lot of behaviors to use find. You can find by size, you can find by last time it was edited, you can find by using permission on the file, a lot of things. So but now we want to find a particular file using name. Okay, so now we are telling it find a file inside the root directory called file1, or let's even call it file. So it's going to search the whole system. You see, so it's giving us different options. It has more than one file existing. Let me limit it to file1 because it might take some time. Let me just limit it to file1. So you can see it's getting us 2 files now. This is the second file. It's still searching because it's searching the whole system, so it's taking time. Let me just stop it. Now, when something like this, so when you are trying to run an operation and it's taking time, you can just stop it by pressing your Ctrl+C. Please take notes because you might fall into scenarios like this. So just press your Ctrl+C. So you see, that's why you have this. Once I press Ctrl+C, that's why you have this. So that's a way for stopping operation. Okay. So now, instead of me telling it to look for the whole system, I can just say find. I can say find inside home directory. Okay, for the file called file1. It shouldn't take time. So you see, that's so fast, right? Hello? Please, am I communicating? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, are we on the same page here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are.
All right. Can I get the third response, please?
Yes, sir.
No, third person, another person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we are with you.
All right, thank you.
We are with you.
Thank you. So that's how to use your find. So now you can also find based on, look at where am I right now. I'm inside DevOps, right? And inside DevOps, you have a file called file1. Okay. So now, if how do you specify a relative path? A relative path. Like now, if I said find, if I say find, and I actually wanted to check from the path that I am, That's where I am. I'm inside temp DevOps, right? Which is what we have here. So for you to specify, you can just use your dot. When you use dot is actually referring to your present location. That's what dot is doing. So once you do dot will just say, okay, find from my present location. Don't find the whole computer. Don't find the whole system. Find from my present location. That's what you use dot for. So find this, then using name file1. So it's going to search my present location. So you can see you have your file1, and then you can specify other directories. So it's as simple as that. Then you can also find by size. You can also find by size. So let's say find by size. So let's just limit it to home. Let's limit it to home, or let's use home. Let's use directory. Can I even use? I don't just want it to take time. Okay, let me just use etc. I don't know, etc. Find etc. Okay, now for you to specify size, it's as simple as you just using hyphen size. Okay, so you can now specify, okay, please find every file greater than or less than 1 MB. Okay, let me say greater than 10 MB. For you to do greater, you use plus. That's for greater. Okay, so you just say greater than 10 M. Do something again. You can also search for empty files anyway. Just tell it empty. We have a lot of options that you could just play around with. I have a list of them here. So we have empty, so it's going to look for empty files, like that does not have anything in them. You can also search based on permissions. So for you to do permission, you can just do find, okay, you're in our last class. Let's look at the permissions we have on this file. So now we have okay, fine. This will give us a good example. So we have like 4 files. We have five different files here. Now, but we have the same permission across 4. So now search inside this directory for a file based on permission. If you don't know what permission is, please you can just refer to the last video. We talked about permission in the last class. Okay, so these are permissions now. So based on this permission, we have read and write. The first read and write is 6. Then the next read is 4. Then the next one is 4. So we have 644. Now let's search based on 644. Okay. Find. Please, do you remember the permission? Remember how I calculated it? Into threes. Yes. You group this into threes. R stands for 4, W stands for 2, and X stands for 1. Yes. So that's how we calculate. Yes. So this one is 644. So now let's find based on permission. Find my present working directory, which is dot. Then based on permission, 644. Let's see what we have. So to use permission is PEM. So you can see it actually shows 4 files. It excluded this. So you can also use that to search your whole system. So you can search based on permission. There's something we also call regular expression. Okay, so if you want to search based on regular expression, so regular expression is as simple as you just like the way you run, you're searching for file based on name. There's something called regular expression. Regular expression is, let's assume you created the file. Okay, you are looking for a file, you are not sure, okay, the file ends with, it's a document file, and you know every Microsoft Word ends with .doc. So you are trying to look for a .doc file. That's what you use regular expression for. Okay, so now, how can I explain it better here? How can I explain it better here? Let me create a group of file. Touch file.doc. Okay, let me create another file called file2.doc. Let me create another file called file3.doc. Okay, so now let's look for all the files that ends with .doc inside this present working directory. Are you getting it now? So how do you do that? We are looking for all the files that ends with .doc inside this present working directory. Let's go now. For you to do that, you just do your find present working directory, then -name. Okay, then the file we are looking for starts with anything. They call it wildcard. So now, how do you represent anything? For you to represent a wildcard, you use your star. Okay, so when you use star actually means anything that actually match this pattern. But all I care is it must end with .doc. Are you getting it? Look at this file now. This ends with .doc. This one ends with .doc. And this one ends with .doc. So now it's going to list only the files that ends with .doc. Okay, path must precede expression. Path must precede expression. File2.doc. Possible unquoted pattern. Okay. Sorry. I'm supposed to quote it anyway. I think that's the issue. It's expecting me to quote it. All right. So you see, that's what they call regular expression. If you want to learn more about regular expression, it's simple. Just type your regular expression. I use W3 School. It's pretty straightforward. You can go to W3 School and learn regular expression. But the simplest one is just using your star. Star actually means you can let it just match anything, but it must end with this. Now, you know, the initial one we did was let it end with .doc. Now, let's say any file that starts with file. So, how do you do that? Any file that starts with file, just do file, then end it with star. File, then star. So it means anything that starts with star is what I'm looking for in this scenario. So now it's going to show file test. It's going to show, okay, look at this one now. You see this one is having new file. But take note, file does not start it. It won't show it. Okay? So that's what this is telling you, like everything that find every file that starts when you are inverting, like you are doing the negative of something. Now, let's say now want to find this present working directory to look for file that is not any of this. You are inverting. Like it's a little bit confusing, but like I just want to negate the response. How do you negate response? In Linux, to negate, you just use exclamation. You just use this. To negate something, you use your exclamation. Okay? So now I think you should show every other thing aside this for. Like you are negating the negative of something. The negative. So you can just leave that anyway. I'm just showing that. Okay? So yeah, that's it about find. There are some other options. You also have other options, like you have other options. You can find by user. You know, you can find by user. Let's find by user simi. I think let's find by user simi from the last class we did, I think. So let's say find present working directory, or let me do ls hyphen latr present working directory. Let's see what we have. So do we have, we don't have anything simi. Okay, so now we only have file that has root anyway. So let's assume I actually want to search for all the file that has root. It's as simple as you just saying find present working directory with a user called root. So now it's going to search for all the files that has a user called root. Okay, let me do something now. Let me exit and create if who am I? Who am I? I think oh, exit. Hold on. Exit. They have stopped. There are stopped jobs. Exit. I can't exit. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now let me see who am I. I want to create a file as a user now. Ubuntu. Okay. Let me switch to simi. I created this user called simi from the last class. I hope you all remember what I just did now, right? Oh, am I talking to myself? Am I talking to myself?
No, we understand. You move from the admin. You are moving from user.
Yes. So I'm switching to simi right now. All right, thank you. Thank you for the response. Please, if you are just confused, you can check from last class. We actually discussed this extensively in the last class. So now let me just create a file called let me create a file with simi and see what we have. So we are inside Ubuntu. Let me just create touch a file. Touch actually is just to create a file called simi test. Okay. So now if I do, I can't create a file inside Ubuntu because I don't have the access. So let me just go to temp. Let me go to TMP. Okay, so that's temp. Then let me create a file called simi test. Instead of me logging out, there are other ways that I could have done it. I'll talk about that, which is there's a command they call chown anyway. I'll talk about it too. So let me touch a file. Let me touch a file called simi test inside temp. I think I should have access. Okay, so lat inside temp. Okay, look at it now. You see, the owner is simi and the root is simi. All right, so let me run my sudo su back to an elevated user. Simi. All right. Now, I can find a file now. I can find the file inside my present working directory, which is temp, because I think I'm inside temp, pwd to w show.
Sir, please. You just made simi the admin, right?
Yes, I just elevated simi access. Yeah. Okay, so
to admin.
Yes.
Okay.
Gave it a root user, elevated user, which is root user. Has to do SU. Okay, so now we have I'm inside pwd, which is temp. I'm inside temp rather. So now let's search using user simi. Let's search using inside present working directory user simi. Okay, so you see, so there are a lot of other things you could also do. Just you could search based on user, you could search based on group, and all. I was telling you something the other time. I think you could also change, instead of me just logging in and logging out, I can change the owner of a file. Let me see. Let me try to change the owner of a file and see what we can do. So now the owner of this file called DevOps, this directory called DevOps, let's change it. Oh, sorry. Let me move into DevOps first and see. I don't like this temp. Let me go to DevOps. So let's see the owner of this file. The owner of these files. So look at, let's change the owner of this test2. For you to change the owner of a file, it's as simple as using chown. Chown. Is it the file name first? I think chown file. Change it to simi. Sorry, I'm trying it out. File 1. I know that's what chown is used for. Invalid user. Okay, so it has to be the user first. Chown simi, then file 1. File 1. All right, so now let me run lat. So where's file 1? So you can see for changing to group 2, there's a way you can change to group. I actually can't record the command, but you can definitely change the group too. So you can just, if you need more details, you can just check for it. Okay.
This chown change user, right?
Yeah. Is to change the file owner. You know, I told you like this first one, you have two roots here now, right? The first one is the user, the file owner rather, okay, which is normally the person that created. Oftentimes it's the person that actually created, that's by default, the person that created the file. Okay, and the second one is the group that the person actually belongs to. So you can change it, which is what I just did here.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So it has it because this root was because the files were created as a root user. That's why it is having this. But now I just changed it using your chown. You can also change the group as well, but I can't really recollect. Is it group own? Group file. Oops. File group change.
Recording in progress.
Okay, change group, yeah.
So I think you can write down since it's on record.
Okay. Oh, what's happening? Is Is this even recording? Okay, I'm already sharing my screen, right? You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right. Is it even recording? Can't see the record option. I just want to believe it's recording right now. Okay. All right. Now it's as simple. Look at it. All I just had to do is file group change, and now I remember it's change group. Okay. So if you want to change a group, just can it's as simple as just using ch group. So let's change the group of this file. So ch group is as simple as ch group. Then simi. You want to change it to simi. Then file 1. So you're changing the group. Let's, I think, let's see. So now you see we've been able to change the group to simi and all. So you can always play around with that. Okay. The last thing I want us to talk about Linux, introduction to Linux and Linux commands, is package managers. And also, please, I'll just implore us to really read about scripting and networking if you really want to learn more. Should I call it networking anyway? Like the ways to manage your IP, to change your host names and all. I just want to read that maybe for further knowledge. Okay, so you can just read about scripting. It's nothing serious. It's just basic commands like this. The only difference is there's some, just read about scripting. I really don't want to bother us with that because it might start getting a little bit complicated. But it's because I just felt it's not one of the most important things in the class. So I don't really want to really overload us with what I feel will not really it's not really taking us in the direction that we are going to. We still have a long way to go. This is just the introduction to terminal. So I just want you to be more comfortable with the terminal. Okay, so the last one I want to talk about now is package manager. So different OS actually has their own has different package manager. When you're talking about Android, you have your Google Play Store. That's the package manager. Okay. When you're talking about Android, you have your App Store. When you're talking about Microsoft, you have your Microsoft Store. Okay, so same thing as different OS. We have different OS. You have your you have your Red Hat. So Red Hat, I think that's RPM. Red Hat Package Manager. You use RPM. When you are using CentOS, you actually use Yum. But we are using Linux. The package manager for, we are using Ubuntu. The package manager for Ubuntu is called apps. That's the package manager for Ubuntu. So for you to use apps, it's as simple as, so if you want to install anything, in Ubuntu, how do you do it? That's what we're about to do now. Okay. For instance, now what can we say we want to install? Let's assume we want to install what can I use as an example? Okay, let's install something as simple as Nginx. Okay, but before we do that now, once you spin up a new instance, the first thing you want to do is you definitely want to update to make sure you are using the latest version. Okay, or update all the packages that you have, and you know why you are doing that, for vulnerabilities, to use the latest, and just the same way you do on your mobile phone and Windows. So to do that now, the first thing you just want to run is make sure you are you have this elevated access to be able to run root commands, okay, sudo command apt-get update. So it's going to update the kernel, update everything anyway. So it might take some time. It's because I've not really run this, but let's assume I'm already updated, so it wouldn't take time. It's because I'm just running it for the first time. Okay.
Sorry, let me come. What command are you using to update? So
okay. Now, let me stop the process. This is the command. I just stop the process so that you don't waste our time. apt-get update. Hello.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. So that's the way for running your apps. Firstly, updating your OS. That's on the first time you really spin up an instance. I'm always recommending that in such a way it also help you update your repo. Probably maybe some new things has been added to the repo, to apt repo, I mean. So just make sure you run this first hand before you do anything. Okay. And again, you have to be careful again. You don't want to run this in your production server, because running this again, if you go and update your packages, okay, let's assume your environment is expecting something like maybe it was configured to use version 1. Then maybe after 6 months or after 1 year, you join the company, you now run apt-get update. It now updated it to version 2, and probably maybe version 2 already has some breaking changes that will break version 1. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So you also have to be careful. In such scenario, maybe if you just have something you want to update, just specify the name of the package you want to update. And I think it's as simple as just running apt-get update, then the package you really want to update. So apt-get update. What package do you want to update here? I really don't want to do any breaking change, but the command should be as simple as that: apt-get update, then the name of the package you want to update. Okay. So now, for us to update first, let's try to install a package. There's a package called Nginx, which is a web server. The web server is called Nginx. So let's install this package and see what we have. So it gave us a couple of recommendations.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, this is a web server. What about Apache? Can we run the Apache the way we run?
This is only a demo. I'm only trying to show you. We are not talking about web servers here anyway. This is only a demo. Like, I'm just trying to install a package as an example. Okay. Do you get me?
No problem.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So here we are just trying to install a package. So now let's try to install a package called apt. I said apt, called Nginx. So now run your apt-get install. So if you want to install, it's as simple as apt-get install instead of update. So it will be install, then the name of the package. Apt-get install. What's the name of the package? I also have to be sure anyway. There's another command for what's this? There's another command for really searching a repo for its correct name. I'll check it. I'll check it and make use of it now, if in case you are not sure. What's this doing?
You typed NBINX. That's not Nginx.
Okay, sorry.
That's what I'm trying to even look at. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So let me change this to Nginx. Nginx, okay. Okay, so it's asking me, do I want to continue? Yes, just for me to be sure.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
It's trying to install the package. Okay, so enter. The currently running kernel is this, which is not the expected kernel version. So restarting the system to load the new kernel will not be handled automatically. You should consider rebooting. Okay. I will not be doing that. Which service should be restarted? Okay. What's this?
Sorry, please, how did you respond to the okay? Did you type okay?
No. The thing just took me out anyway. I think it's just a prompt. Because I was even trying to read it. So all I just did was just pressing enter anyway. And the thing just, I didn't know.
Okay.
But I was trying to take it to okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
No containers in the new VM. Do you know why it's taking time? It doesn't take time anyway. I guess it's trying to update a lot of things. I didn't really update the, I was running the update and then I stopped. I guess the thing has adverse effects. I was not supposed to stop. So the thing is just run. I think it's just it just continue with the updates because Nginx is not that heavy for it to take time like this. If it's Nginx, it's within 30 seconds.
I think it's updating the kernel.
It's updating the kernel, yes.
It's not compatible.
No container needs to be restarted. No user session. No VM gets arena.
Yeah, I'm saying.
What's happening here? How do I know? I just hit my enter. Takes me to a new line.
Let's observe it.
Yeah. If it has freezed, I will not be able to hit anything. You see, if I hit enter, it's going to take me to a new line. That's to show that it's still responding. It's taking
what do we do at this stage?
Yeah?
What do you do now?
Hit your enter for you to know like it's still responding to you.
Okay.
What's happening? Why is it taking time? When you're working in an environment like this, you really have to be careful and you have to be patient, like very, very patient. Don't go through shortcuts. Don't try to speed things up, and just have to be patient. I just hope what I did did not have adverse effects, stopping updates halfway. I just hope. It's still responding, but I don't know why it's just taking time. Or just for the class, let me see if I can just restart here. Distance. Going to log me out automatically. So it's not logging me out.
We should move to another terminal.
Actually, it was supposed to log me out automatically, so it's just a little bit weird. Upon restarting, it was supposed to log me out automatically from this. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm trying to list all the packages we have, and let's see all the packages we have in our apps. The package name, which is Nginx. Let me see what we have. So it's listing a lot of packages, Nginx packages that we have right now. So what's happening here? Let me see. Nginx. Nginx common. Okay, this is it. Okay, so you can see now telling us this is Nginx we installed. Now it's telling us it's already installed. Okay. Hello.
All right.
So it's as simple as just run your apt search. Apt search is like you're searching for the repository. You're searching for a particular package inside the apps repository. Okay, so any package you're looking for, just like somebody was asking about Apache. I think Apache is called HTTPD. So you can just search for Apache HTTPD. So now, after installing packages, you, like something like Nginx, you have to start the process. Like you have to start the web server for it to take effect. Let's just do that and wrap it up for today. So that should conclude our Linux session. So now I just searched for HTTPD. So there are a lot of packages with HTTPD inside. So just look for it, check around and see. Probably another thing is it might not be called HTTPD on Ubuntu. It might be called something else because the package name used to be different based on OS. So you can just use your Google to confirm. Okay, so that's it. Now, what we did was we created a web server. We installed a web server called Nginx. Let's quickly do something before we call it a day. So now, they call it Nginx. How do you know if a service is running? This is the command for knowing if it's or let's start the Nginx web server anyway. For you to start a service, it's as simple as systemctl. Okay, so this systemctl is how do I describe systemctl now? It's a command for actually starting a process. Let me just put it that way. So, or for managing processes inside your OS. Okay, system control. So now let's start the Nginx. There are some packages they need to run as a process. An example is an Nginx. So let's start Nginx and see what we have. So systemctl start Nginx. So it's telling me I need to put password because I'm not elevated user. That's why I have to put in the password. Sudo su, sorry. Control. Okay, so let's see. System. Now, I've started the service now. So now let's see if it's running. For you to see if it's running, okay, let me type it full. It's as simple as to start, I actually use systemctl start, then the name of the package, right? Then to see if it's running, you use systemctl status. Okay, then Nginx. So let's see if it's running. So you can see, all I just look for is this active and running. Okay, so if there's a problem, you see stopped. Now let me try to stop it and run that again. So to stop it is as simple as systemctl stop, then Nginx. Now let's check the status. Systemctl status Nginx. You see, it already stopped. Inactive. Okay, I believe you are getting to that interesting part of the whole thing. So that's it anyway. So now a quick one. This web server, it's a web server, so it has a default page. What I just installed now. Okay, now let me show you something. This coil command, when you use coil is a way for getting, like you're opening the website on the desktop or on your PC. Let me do coil google.com and see what we have. So I don't know. He said this has been moved. I believe there are some redirections. That's why we have this. But let me look for another website. I think I have this, or I can use wget too, but let me just look for another website. Okay, let me use this as an example. Ask Ubuntu. Okay, coil ask Ubuntu. It's just a way for opening a website. Coil ask Ubuntu. Let's see what we have. Okay, so you see, it's a very big page. That's why we have all this. So now, this is what we have on this website. This is the website you are seeing on our command line. Okay, so that's coil. Now, this web server I just created now, that is okay. We are getting to that interesting part. We are using this our instance as a web server. Okay, so now for you to access that web server, it by default it's configured on localhost. So let's try to call localhost. They call it localhost. We can talk about this later. Okay, I'll give you more details. So fail to connect coil localhost, fail to connect to localhost port 80, connection refused. Okay, why is it refusing? Why is it refusing this? Telnet. Let me not start troubleshooting anyway. So, oh yeah, I didn't start the Nginx. Let me try to start the Nginx and see. Systemctl start Nginx. Once I start the Nginx, so let me call localhost. That's like the local DNS, the local URL for the web server we just created. So now, from there we can easily take it to the, which is what DevOps is all about. So we are just starting DevOps proper. So you can see now, Thank you for using Nginx. Now, let me show you this. I don't know, please. I'm just talking to myself, please.
We are following.
All right. So I just got someone's question. Please, what's the use of the Nginx? You may not worry about Nginx for this class, but let me just tell you, Nginx is a web